Hello, everybody out there in the Bookverse. It's Stephanie, and I am back with another round of TBR Mini Star Hop. I haven't played this for a few months now. Usually I'll play it every other month with my Patreons, but we took December off because, well, it was the holidays and everyone was busy and school was really busy. So took December off, back here in January, which I think was a good call because January's TBR is out of control. I really need the help of a 48-hour readathon, so I'm really hoping to be able to get some of my books from my actual January TBR onto this game. I have a lot, and I have not gotten very many done yet this year, which if you're looking at the timeline, you're like, hey, Stephanie, it's over halfway through January. You'd be correct. Yeah, so I'm a little bit behind. I'm really counting on this game a lot to boost me through some books and give me the opportunity to actually finish my TBR in January, but we'll see how it goes. I am really looking forward to playing with my Patreons. I think it's going to be so much fun. We're going to be doing a lot of live sprints during this, and they're going to be playing along with me, reading their own books. I'm just really excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So enough talking, let's go ahead and just jump into roll number one. Okay, here we go with roll number one. I've played this game enough now to know that I want anything but a 6. Let's see what we get. You gotta be kidding me. I had 5. Every time, I cannot remember the last time I played this game and made it past this black hole. This thing is just horrible. It's the worst. Okay. Well, we're back at the beginning and we have no control over what we're reading. So let's see what we get. Okay, well, once again, we've hit a black hole. I have my spinner wheel with all the books that were on my TBR for the month of January. So I have some pretty short ones on there, like Silver in the Woods and the Belgaria. That one isn't too long. Sandman, Monstrous, Into the Labyrinth. I have some shorter ones on there. But I also have things like Priory of the Orange Tree, The Lost Metal, Queen of Shadows, and The Forgetting Moon. So really could go either way on this one. I'm not super confident in this, but we'll see what we get. I'm going to screen record this. I'm so nervous. Okay. Like trying to read them as they're coming. No. Keep going. Oh. Okay. The Witch and the Tsar is the one that we're reading. So let me stop this and I will go grab it. Okay, so we are back with The Witch and the Tsar. This is going to be the book. That is our first book of the readathon. I have already started. I barely started because I wanted this to be my first read of 2023. And I haven't finished any books yet. So this actually will be my first read of 2023. I started it, but then I started reading another book and I started reading another. So it's begun, but barely. Like I'm just a few pages into this. Author's note, how long is it? This is 399 pages. So it is kind of long. I mean, it's an adult fantasy, so it's going to have shorter or smaller font, and it's probably not going to be the fastest read, but I am super excited about this, and it's kind of cold outside, so I think this is a great read. I'm not mad about it. I would like to start out a little bit smaller considering we're right at the beginning of the board, but I'm okay with it because I am really looking forward to this book. Okay, so finished the first book of this readathon, The Witch and the Tsar. This book was a lot different than I was expecting it to be. I feel like, honestly, this book had a kind of mix between The Wolf and the Woodsman and Spinning Silver. So if you like either of those books, I would definitely give this one a try. It had a lot of like war and the brutalities of war and kind of like a realistic view on how much it affects the people of the lands. And I just didn't really think that's what it was going to be going in. I know someone tried to warn me about this in my comments in my video that this wasn't what I was expecting it to be, which thank you, because it definitely was not that. I was thinking it'd be like this vengeful witch out to get this czar who is trying to like eradicate magic. Not what it was. But it did have those elements where it was this witch that was kind of the last vestiges of this old religion, right, with the old gods of Russia, and how they had kind of been pushed out and turned, like, vilified by the incoming Christianity, which the Tsar and the majority of the people in Russia then practiced. It was set in the time of Ivan the Terrible, which I don't really know a whole ton about that time. I mean, obviously, like, I've heard of him, but I don't know how accurate this is to history because I don't know a lot about that time, but it does talk about dates a lot, and it seems to really talk about other countries around. The countries are named like what the countries are now. So we have like Sweden and Poland and those types of things. So I'm thinking probably follows some pretty close historical accuracy on there. But I did really enjoy this book. I thought it was really good. I do enjoy books that have a lot of the aspects of the old Russian folklore and gods in this kind of dark setting. Those types of books tend to be hits with me. It did kind of have a little bit of weird pacing to me, so I really enjoyed a lot of it leading up to this like big conflict that was happening. But I felt like there was a normal like build up to this climax, and then it like dropped off again, and then we kind of had to like build up to another one almost. So I just kind of feel like there was a little bit of a dip in there where it lost me on my investment a little bit, just because it felt a little off. But overall, I thought it was really good. I had a really good time with this, and I'm excited to jump on to my next one. So yes, one down, and it's not a long book, but it's a decent sized one, right? Like fully lengthed book done here. So we need to jump into our second roll. We are at the beginning. Let's see what we get. I'll try to read some more this evening. It is 1 a.m, so probably not going to read a whole ton, but I'll try to read some. And if it's a short book, then I would potentially be able to finish it tonight before I go to bed, but let's see what we get. Okay, here we go. I have been told not to jinx myself, so we'll see what we get here. A 1. Not wonderful, but hey, there we go. Not really that much better than a 6, honestly. Okay, we only moved 1 spot, and we're on a star. So on the plus side, the star prompts tend to be the easiest. On the less good side, we moved 1 spot. So we're not really making much progress here, but let's see what prompt we get. Here we go. I'm not really that nervous this time. It's nothing like last time. Audiobook. Okay, let's see what we can find. Okay, so I have some options of books that are on my January TBR that I also have the audiobook for. So we're going to talk about, I grabbed 4 options. I'm leaning more towards 2 of them, and you'll see why in a minute, but I did grab 4 just because I'm still a little bit debating. But I have Silver in the Wood, and this is a novella, so it's quite short. I hear it's about this like kind of hermit guy that lives in the woods. I'm not really sure what it's about, but I really love magical wood settings, so this one sounds interesting. I also have What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. This was a gift from my friend Angela, so I'm really excited to jump into it. I really enjoyed Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher, and I've heard this one's absolutely amazing. I also grabbed Queen of Shadows because I am trying to finish the Throne of Glass series this year, and I have 2 Throne of Glass books on my January TBR, so I definitely need to get to some. Plus, I always have a Throne of Glass book on these readathons for some reason. It just works out that way. This one is pretty chunky though, so I don't know. And then I also grabbed The Lost Metal by Brandon Sanderson. I definitely need to get to this one. It came out in November, and I just have to read it. So really want to read this one. And I've already started it, so I'm like a little bit into this one, not very far though. I almost can't justify putting these on my, like making these my choice when I just moved 1 spot. If I'd moved maybe like 5 spots, I feel like I'd feel a little bit more confident putting these on, but moving 1 spot, I have so many rolls left in the game potentially. I mean, honestly, I could have infinite number of rolls, right? But it just almost feels irresponsible to put these on at this point. So you know that I want to, but I'm going to be smart, and wait a little bit for these ones. They'll go over into my hopefully later pile. And so now I just have between these two. Ooh, which one is calling to me? Which one do I feel like I will stay up till 3 in the morning to finish, really is what I need to decide at this point. Because if I can stay up till 3 in the morning, I can do another roll before I go to bed, which would be ideal. Which one am I feeling right now? I think we're gonna go with this one because I feel like sometimes if I'm staying up late to read, if I get this really like kind of creepy, a little messed up, but really engaging book, it keeps me up. So that's what I'm hoping this one will do for me. So yeah, we're gonna go with What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. I'm excited about this. I'm very intrigued. I've heard great things about it. Angela loved it. It sounds like something I'm gonna enjoy. So yeah, we're gonna do this one. It'll probably be around 3 in the morning when I finish it. I'm guessing it's a novella, so I'm giving it around 2 hours. That's my guess. We'll see. It could be later. I really hope not though. Okay, so I have finished What Moves the Dead. Like I guess it's about 3 in the morning. This book is creepy. I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I thought it was interesting. I was definitely like slowly eased into this. I feel like I was kind of interested and then it just kind of got to the point where you're like, what the heck is going on? I've never read The Fall of the House of Usher, I think is what this is based on, by Edgar Allan Poe, because like has the name Usher in it. I have no idea what that's about, and I really don't know if this follows that story very well or not, but I really enjoyed this one. It was short, it was to the point, which I think really made it better actually. It didn't drag on too much, so I thought this was excellently done. Like I said, kind of the perfect thing for this time of night because I was pretty invested and I was creeped out enough that it kept me awake pretty well. I do better with creepy books than with like horror movies or stuff like that. I don't like watching those. It does make me scared. This isn't too much, except there's like a little picture frame over here that will change pictures on its own, and I would like catch the movement out of the corner of my eye, and so it would startle me a little bit, but at least that was about it. I'm a very paranoid person anyways, so we're pretty lucky that's all that scared me. But yes, this was enjoyable. I really liked it, and we'll do one more roll before I go to bed. Okay, here we go for roll number 3. This is roll number 3. Feels like roll number 2, but it's actually roll number 3. Okay. We got a 6. Woohoo! Okay. Yes, good. Oh my gosh, I almost panicked there because I thought we were gonna hit the black hole. I guess I have a little PTSD from 6s. It's 3 in the morning. It's okay. Another star. I'm very happy about this star. I'm very happy about this 6. Let's go see what prompt I get. So we got another star, which I am quite happy about. And the star prompt wheel is already up, so we'll just go ahead and spin it and see what we get. I'm kind of hoping, you know what? I don't think there's too many on here that I wouldn't want to get. I feel like most of them are gonna be fine. So let's just go ahead and spin it. Okay, 5-star prediction. I feel like that's very doable.
Great content.
I feel like doing a 5-star prediction, I can do that. I have a lot of options for this. Well, I feel like not all of them are like full-on 5-star predictions, but I feel like I have some good choices, so I'll be back. Okay, I have several options actually that I came back with, and they are all on my January TBR, so any of them are like good choices. First one I have is Into the Labyrinth by John Bierce. This one, I feel like I wouldn't have put this on here before I read what it's about, but it has to do like with a magical school, and there's like a competition and you have to survive it or pass it. I don't know, I think survive it, but I'm really excited to jump into this one. I love the magical school setting and it's fairly short, so it might be a good one to add on. I also have Neil Gaiman's Sandman. This was a like last minute pick that I grabbed. I'm going to be reading this with my friend Angela this month. I'm gonna really keep reading the series this time. I don't know why I just stop. I just don't continue with it, but I really want to. So this is on here, and I gave it a 5-star last time, so I'm fairly confident it'll be a 5-star again. Then I have the next volume in the Monstrous graphic novel series, which I have absolutely been loving. I've given most of the volumes in this series 5 stars, so this one's a good bet as well. Then I also have The Lost Metal by Brandon Sanderson. This is the 4th and final book in his Second Era Mistborn series, and I have heard people absolutely loving this one, saying it's the best in the Second Era, and they really, really loved it. So this one I have very high hopes for as well. And then I have The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This one I have been meaning to read forever. It sounds like something I would absolutely love. It has dragons in it, and it just, I mean, people adore this book. It's beloved. So I feel confident that I will love this one too. Now I have to decide. I feel like this is a really good list, and I have kind of a variety, but I think, honestly, I think you knew when I picked it up that this one probably wasn't going to be on my choice. I feel like I should save this one in case I get a book over like 500 pages, right? Because then I could use this one. So we'll save this for now. I'm not close enough to the end to feel confident putting that one on. How long is Lost Metal? Let's look how many pages it is. 500. So this one is 500, a little over 500 pages. So, should I save this one for the 500 page prompt because it's way closer to 500 pages than Priory of the Orange Tree? I don't know. This one was really high up on my list. I actually was thinking I was going to go with this one, but now I'm reconsidering and maybe I won't. I don't know. I have my graphic novels and I could throw them in now, or I could save them in case I end up hitting a black hole or getting a bunch of ones or something, and I feel like I really need a short book. Right now I kind of would like it, but don't necessarily need it. I think I might save these just in case. I know that's kind of crazy, but I think I will. Okay, so we're down to these two. Which one do I feel like reading the most? 211 pages. This seems like it should be a really fast and easy read, but I feel like I really want to read this one. 3 in the morning is not the best time to be making this decision. I'm gonna make this decision tomorrow morning. When I wake up, I'm gonna decide what I'm gonna read. Yep, that's it. I'm going to bed now, and I will come back to you in the morning. Okay, good morning. It is now like 11:30 in the morning, and I am awake. I am on some sprints with my Patreons and have decided which book I'm going to read. So if you remember, well, you do remember, it was just 2 seconds ago for you. Options were The Lost Metal by Brandon Sanderson or Into the Labyrinth by John Bierce. And I have decided that I'm going to save this one for a prompt that is over 500 pages, because this is probably as close to 500 pages as I'm gonna get. Queen of Shadows might be faster to read, even though it's longer. I don't know, but this one is gonna be saved for now. If I do have time, I definitely want to fit it on in the end, but this one is gonna be saved for now, and we're gonna go with this one. I'm kind of excited about it. I don't have the audiobook for it, so I can't immersion read it, which is something that I really do like to do, but I am still interested to see what comes of this one. I don't really know what to expect because I don't know anyone else who has read it except for the one person who recommended it to me, so we're gonna see how this goes. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be good, and hopefully I can finish it before I do have a baby shower to go to today, so I'm hoping I can finish it before then and do another roll, but we'll see. Okay, this is a little crazy, but it's now 10 at night and I just finished Into the Labyrinth. I cannot believe it took me this long, and granted, I did go to a baby shower today, and it took like an hour to drive there, an hour to drive back, and I was at the baby shower, so that did cut into my time quite a bit, but I still should not have taken that long to read this book. I have no idea why it was such a struggle for me to read it fast. My brain just wasn't reading fast today, I guess. But I did end up really liking this book after I got into it. I feel like it took me a while to kind of get into it, and it is more simplistically written, which is fine. I did enjoy it. I thought it was good. I think this is a self-pub though, because there were several typos in there that kind of got to me a little bit, and a little bit of weird sentence structuring that I wasn't a fan of. But overall, I really enjoyed the story. I thought it was really interesting. I really enjoyed some of the different twists that the story took. And I liked kind of the development of our characters and getting to know them. So overall, this was a really fun book. It did have a kind of fun, like survival competition aspect to it that I really enjoyed, that I do like a lot in books, especially when it has like magical elements to it. So yeah, overall, I thought this was a really fun book. I'm definitely going to be continuing the series, and I really enjoyed it. So let's go ahead and jump in to our next roll. Fingers crossed, it's nice to us. Okay, here we go. 4 is not going to be our friend, but let's see what we get. 6! Oh my gosh, do you know how lucky we are? I'm so happy. 6 and another star. Wow. I feel like getting a 6 in itself is happy, but getting a 6 and a star, it's good. That was so lucky. I absolutely love the feeling of getting past that last wormhole or black hole so that I know I'm not going to have to go back to the beginning of the game. It makes me feel a lot more confident in choosing books. I mean, I could still have like 3 more books in this game, including the one that I have now, but I feel a lot better. So yeah, that was good. I feel great. I feel like I could not have had a better roll. It was perfect. Okay, so I'm going to screen record. We're going to do a spin and see what prompt we get from our star prompts. And the star prompts are the best prompts, so this is going to be good. Okay, I need to pick a book that is less than 300 pages. That is definitely doable. I can make that happen. Okay, so I grabbed all the options from my TBR of any book that I have to read that is less than 300 pages, and I actually have several options, which is fairly surprising, but maybe a little less surprising because my TBR is so huge. So first option I have is the second book in the Belgariad, which is Queen of Sorcery. So this one is, it looks like it's really long, but it's 3 books in one. So this is the second one, and it ends on page 429 and starts on page 193. So this one's definitely less than 300 pages. I have Silver in the Wood, the novella that's obviously less than 300 pages. How many pages is this? It's very short. 105. So definitely short enough, and a novella, which I do love. Then I have Learn My Lesson by Katie Robert. This one is 253, so I could definitely do this one as well. And then of course I have my 2 graphic novels, Monstrous and The Sandman. So I have some options here. I definitely have choices that I could go with. I don't feel like I'm really feeling a graphic novel right now, so I'm gonna leave those out. And honestly, I'm not really in the mood for this one either, so I don't think I'm gonna do that. So I think it's between these 2. So if I were to go with this one, I probably would be finishing it around 2, 3 in the morning again, and then that's when I would be rolling for my next book, which would be fine. But then if I did this one, I probably could finish it in the next couple hours, finish around midnight, and maybe get started on my next book, just in case I roll a 1 and have to read 2 more books. So it would be safer this way, but this way I'd knock out another relatively decent sized book in this readathon. So what do I want to do? I think I'm going to go with this one. I feel like if I can get this one done and roll again closer to midnight, I'll feel a little bit safer about it. So we're going to go with Silver in the Wood. Also, I'm really excited about this one. I feel like this could be something I really enjoy because I do love the magical wood setting. So hopefully I like this one. And I'll probably be back again tonight for another roll. It might be my last roll and it might not be. We'll see. Okay, I finished Silver in the Wood. This was very quick and it was a little bit different than I was expecting, honestly. I feel like I did still enjoy it. It wasn't my favorite though. I feel like what I kind of wanted from these characters in the story wasn't what I got. It was very short, very quick, which I did know going into it, and I felt like that was okay. That didn't bug me a whole ton, the fact that it was really quick. I felt like my attachment to the characters were there, but like one specific character and the way that it went, I just didn't really enjoy his storyline going that way. I found the mother figure in here really irritating. I did not like her. She was just very annoying. And I just didn't really love what this story did necessarily. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of the story. I wasn't a fan of the way that it went. So it was well told, and I think it was a good setting, and the atmosphere was great. I just didn't really like the actual story that was there. So done with that one. Let's move on to our next roll. So there is a chance that we could be done on this roll, but there is a chance we'd have to have another roll. So I'm glad that I'm rolling now. It's just before midnight, and so I think this is a good time to be able to do that. So if we do have 2 more books, I can plan accordingly. Okay, here we go with what could potentially be the final roll or not. We shall see. 4. Perfect. Woo, we are to the end. Nice. Okay, we've reached the end, and I feel like this was great timing for the end book to be chosen, so now I can choose a little bit of a longer book instead of picking a really short one that I can fit in. It still can't be like the longest, probably, I don't know, but I do have some options. First, we have again Queen of Sorcery, the second book in the Belgariad series. This one is not too long. I feel like it'd be very reasonable to be able to do in this time frame. I also have potentially Priory of the Orange Tree. I know this one is super long, but I feel like it might be, I don't know, like some people said they binge it in a day, so maybe that one. This is like a maybe. I, of course, have The Lost Metal by Brandon Sanderson, which, again, could be another one that I could read. I feel like it'd be a fast read. I have found that the Mistborn books are really quick reads for me, and I really enjoy them, so this one's a strong contender. And then I also have Queen of Shadows. I know I don't have the dust jacket because it comes off of my bookshelves upstairs that are black and gold and silver, but this is the 4th book in the Throne of Glass series, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong there. But this one, I do tend to read a Throne of Glass book during these readathons, so this one's definitely on there. Again, it's kind of long. So here are my options. You know, as much as I feel like it'd be awesome to do it, I kind of want to remove this one. I have done a really long book on this readathon before, and I feel like I need to start it earlier than midnight on like Saturday night, Sunday morning. It's just not quite enough time for me to be able to comfortably finish it. So I'm actually going to remove this one, I think, even though it'd be nice to get that one done because it's a really long book on my January TBR. I think I'm going to remove this one as well, just because I feel like I'm not really super excited about reading it right now. Like, I want to read it, but I feel like I'm more drawn to the other two. So, we have between these two, both of them good. I mean, I really want to read this one because I'm part of the way into it already. Not very much, but a little bit. So I'm already kind of invested in the story, and I really do want to finish it because people have said it's amazing. I actually think, I think I'm going to go with this one. I know it's... I don't know why I pick some books, but this one I feel like I almost am picking because a Throne of Glass book has been in this readathon so many times that it just feels like it needs to be on there for like consistency's sake. So we're going to go ahead and go with Queen of Shadows for the final book for this readathon. I'm happy about that. I'm really looking forward to continuing on with this series. This is one that is a priority series for me to finish this year, and plus it's on my January TBR. So there we have it. That will be my next read, and I probably am not going to update you again until I'm done with it. We'll see if I actually am able to finish. I feel like I should be, but it is pretty thick, and it's already midnight, and I am going to not be starting sprints with my patrons until 11 a.m. tomorrow, so I'm probably not going to be reading before then because I'm going to sleep. So we'll see how this goes. Okay. It is now just past 5 o'clock, which means the readathon has officially ended, and I was able to finish Queen of Shadows. So once again, I have won TBR mini Star Hop in 48 hours. I have not lost yet. I've come pretty close a couple times, but so far so good. Is it too easy? I don't think it's too easy. I think it's just the right amount of challenging to get me to read a lot within this amount of time, but not feel so overwhelming that I'm gonna lose like half the time, because that's just not gonna be fun for me, so I doubt I would play as much. So Queen of Shadows, this is the 4th book in the Throne of Glass series. I did quite enjoy this book. It's fun. Really, that's what I'm going for with this one. I can't tell you too much about it, obviously, because it is the 4th book in the series. This book did have a lot of ups and downs, though, I noticed, and I felt like there were several times where it felt like it was almost like the climactic ending, which I did talk about in a different book. But yeah, I feel like we had quite a few of those here. Honestly, I did feel like it maybe was a little bit too long. That being said, I still had fun with it. I really did enjoy it. It's a fun read. It's an easy read. It's a very easily digestible story. It's very plot driven, which makes it go by very quickly as well. So this is just a fast read. It was fun. I enjoyed it, and it's done. So let's go through and look at the books that I read for the readathon. I'm gonna try to put them in the order that I read them in. Let me see if I can remember. Okay, here we go. Got it. So we have 5 books that I read for this readathon. We have The Witch and the Tsar, which was a black hole pick. We have What Moves the Dead for an audiobook. We have Into the Labyrinth for, what was that one for? Oh, that was for a 5-star prediction. Sorry. We have Silver in the Wood for a book less than 300 pages. And then Queen of Shadows was my final pick for just my free pick spot at the end. So I think I did pretty well. 5 books. I know that 3 of them are fairly short, but I mean, Queen of Shadows is well over 600 pages and The Witch and the Tsar is pretty long as well. So I had 2 solid books on here, and then 2 shorter, and then 1 fairly short. So, I mean, overall, I thought it was a pretty good weekend. I didn't read any graphic novels, which I do still have to read for the rest of the month, but I think this was a good start on my January TBR. I have so many books to read, and so I feel like it's a good thing that I was able to knock these ones out and get myself back into the reading mode, because I have been very slumpy lately. So this was a great weekend. I had so much fun with my Patreons. We did several sprints, and I felt like everyone was reading a lot, and it was just so much fun to be able to hang out with them. And it was just a really good weekend. And now I'm tired, and I'm probably gonna take a tiny little nap before I go about the rest of my day. But thank you so much for watching. This was so much fun, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.